Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakodash, and double honor to the Apostle of GMS and the bishops, the elders, and all the sincere brethren that are laboring the truth that across the world, and also to all the sincere brethren and sisters that are listening to the truth. And I pray this may be another edifying lesson to the flocks, and whatever the Most High want through this message, and let it be heard. And before I begin the lesson, I will introduce the true name of the Father, which is Yahweh, and the names mean He exists. And the name of the Son is Yahushua HaMashiach, which means the Redeemer or the Deliverer. And He's only coming to redeem His people, which is the nation of Israel. And in today's age, we'll identify them as the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans, which scatter in all four corners of the world. And it looks like the other nations, and also practice the custom of the other nations. With that, that'll be it for the introductions. However, today I will be back on the book of Matthew chapter 5, and this time I'm gonna read it from 27 through 30. Basically, it's gonna be like a short section, short verses I should say. And verse 27 is basically about the teaching about adultery. So that would be 27 all the way to 30. But before that, I would do like a recap of the past verses that I read for the past few days. When you read from the beginning of it, it talks about the sermon of basically talk about like a Yahushua have a sermon on the mountain where he was talking to the disciples about how the Most High has blessed those who are poor in spirit, and those that are mourning, those that are meek and humble. So Yahushua talk about all those things, like what's gonna be the reward. So those that are mourning, the Most High gonna wipe away the tears. He's gonna comfort them, and those that are meek, He's gonna bless them with He's gonna be blessing. What was that? It's gonna be blessed them. They're gonna basically inherit the kingdom. And when you kept on going down, He said like we are the salt of the earth. So if the subtle flavor is what good is it? So that's the thing that Yahushua talk about. And as you go down, it also talk about like a little bit of the Old Testament, about the ancient prophets. Like He said, like He didn't come to destroy the old law, but He come to fulfill it, which a lot of people have a hard time to understand, to get basically. You know, we all know, because they want to continue to do the wickedness in this day and age. And now I'm going to read basically 27 all the way to 30. And I'm going to start right now. Matthew 5 verse 27, and it says, "Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery." So basically, Yahushua said, you heard of the old times, which is the before Yahushua time, like how the prophets, basically like Moses said, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." So Yahushua said, you guys heard that already. And He says, "But I say unto you, that whosoever look on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart." And He said, look, I know you heard in the old days, the commandment said, "Thou shalt not commit adultery," which means you're not supposed to sleep with another person's wives. He said that, but He said, I'm gonna go even one step further. If you look at a woman lustfully in your heart, which is basically if you see a woman walking and you lust after her, you also commit adultery. Now, a lot of people misinterpret that when they by using like any woman. If you see a woman walking and you lust, you think about her, you lust over her, that's adultery. That's not what He meant. He's talking about a woman that already have a man. Because if it's like a woman that's like a virgin, that's never been slept with somebody or giving into somebody for marriage, and you lust after her, that's not adultery, because she's single and she's like a virgin. But if she has a man, that's basically adultery right now. Because if you think about it, that means you're planning on doing it. You premeditated basically, man. But in this current era we live right now, because we all commit adultery 24/7. Because every woman we've seen right now, if she popped by somebody before, she technically have a husband. The only reason we've been the Most High have mercy on us is because we are still under the grace basically. And verse 29 says, and if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out. And it say if your right eye basically like your good eyes offended you, just pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. So he said, like, if your right eye is offended you, say pluck it out, which means cast it out. It doesn't necessarily talk about like your actual eye, take it out and pluck it out. It's talk about like let's just say you have somebody that offended you. Instead of being like a proud and arrogant, it's just like you just have to let it go. It's better to basically, if you have like a beef with somebody, man, instead of, and you know you're right and the person is wrong, instead of be like, I'm right, blah blah blah, so on, let it go. Like make peace with that person and just walk away, or be the bigger man. Don't hold like an unnecessary grudge, because that itself can cause you to lose your spot. I don't want to say lose your spot in the kingdom, or cast down in hell, basically, man. Instead of you don't want to lose everything for like for something that you can settle in a matter of a second. Like the scripture said, if possible, be at peace with all men. Like if somebody step on your shoes, you don't be like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna kill that person, man. Just let it go. Even though it might hurt you, that because that's your favorite shoes, but let it go, man. It's so simple, man. Let it go. You don't want to lose your life over some nonsense, because we've seen people do that on a regular basis. And verse 30 says, and if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it off from thee. And likewise, so if your right hand offend you, cut it off and cast it off from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body shall be cast into hell. So likewise, if your right hand is offending you, basically cut it off once again, because it's better to lose one member of your body than your whole body. So the same way I talk about the first one is like if you have somebody offend you or step on your shoes, let it go. Likewise, it's the same thing. Somebody if you're dealing with some problem, like a family member, I should say, or somebody's making your life like a living hell from your job, instead of being prideful, man, just let it go. Or if you have to cut off family members from the truth's sake, because some people are gonna be against you in the truth, man. Ever since you come to the truth, you think you're better than us. Oh, blah blah blah. Oh, you used to be a nigger. You used to go to the strip club. Or now you think you're better than us. If you don't wanna, so those people gonna make you feel like a guilty. They're gonna put you in a position where you have to choose the truth or them. So if you don't want to choose the truth, or if you don't want to choose them over the truth, you just have to cut that family member off, basically, man. Because if you don't cut enough, you're gonna be like, oh, you're right, man. I miss spending time with you guys, man. So you're gonna you're gonna basically walk away from that truth. So it's better to cut that person off. You might love that person, but however, you're gonna have to put your foot down and say, look, man, you're gonna make that decision. What is either you choose the truth or that family member. And if you're one of the elect, you're gonna choose the truth. If you're not one of the elect, you're just gonna go back in the world again. So it's that plain and simple, basically, man. So that's it for the lesson. I pray that's another edifying lessons to the flocks, and whether the Most I went through this message and let it be heard. And with that, and I pray I do not add or take away from the scripture. And with that, I'd like to say, Shalom.